Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? Okay, fine, thanks. Hope you are all fine. Here we meet again, this time with another poem, and the name of the poem is The Voice of the Rain, okay, by Walt Whitman. By the way, rain कितनी अच्छी लगती है जब बारिश होती है, स्पेशली इस गर्मी में ना. आजकल पिछले ही वीक बारिश हुई थी तो आपको अच्छा लगा होगा. ओके, और ये आज मैं अखबार में पढ़ रहा था, कल से शायद फिर प्रेडिक्शन है रेन की. ठीक है, तो अल्लाह बोलता है कुरान में कि मैं जब बारिश बरसाता हूँ तो मैं उस बारिश में आप लोगों के लिए जो है ना रहमत बरसाता हूँ तुम लोगों पे. तो ये जो बारिश होती है ना, ये अल्लाह की तरफ से एक ब्लेसिंग होती है, एक रहमत होती है. तो इसमें एक पोइम लिखी है, यहाँ पर ये जो लिखा है द वॉइस ऑफ द रेन. सो लुक एट दिस, द वॉइस. अगर लिखा साउंड, there is something different, but he says the voice. So इसका मतलब है the rain here, the poet has personified rain here. यानी he has given human qualities to rain, just like we speak. Similarly, the poet says in this poem that once rain spoke to him. So first of all, let me tell you something about this poem as a whole. This poem we can say is a lyric. Okay, this poem is a lyric. Now what is a lyric? I have told you in other classes also that a lyric comes from the Greek word, it comes from the Greek word lyre, L-Y-R-E, which is a musical instrument. So when you say musical instrument, it means that this will be a poem which is musical. So the word is there, the poet has used words which create music in the poem. Okay, and then this poem is personal in nature. It is what's called as subjective in nature. That means the poet uses pronoun I or we, like me, my, in this poem. Later on when we read this poem, you can go to your books at go to your books at page number 41. So when you go to page number 41, there you will find the text of the poem, and you will find that in the third line, in the first line itself, the poet says, said I. So this the pronoun I makes it a lyric, and this lyric poem is generally short. It's a short poem, it's musical. So this is a short poem, and then only only on one page, half page this poem has been written, and then this sort of poem expresses the poet's feelings and emotions. That is the speakers, whosoever there is, you will come to know about his feelings, about his emotions, inner, what does he feel, senses. In other words, in this kind of poem, we have imagery at its best. That is, there is a lot of imagery is there. Different kinds of imagery, I have told you that visual is there, there is, sound is there, taste imagery is there. And then, in this kind of poem, we find a lot of imagination is at work. Okay, the poet will take you to, imagination. You will go to imagination in different type of world. Takhayul mein aapko le jayega wo. And then, in this kind of poem, we have, description of nature is there. Man-made things, no, God-made things की बात करेगा poet. जैसे यहाँ पर ये लिख रहा है rain के बारे में, shower लिख रहा है, earth लिख रहा है, then night लिख रहा है, day लिख रहा है. So these are all, things which have been created by God. So this poem is a lyric. Okay, then you know this poem has been written by Walt Whitman. We'll try to know something about it briefly about him just now. He was an American poet, and he is best known for his poetry of writing poetry in free verse. So this poem, this Voice of the Rain, is in free verse. I'll tell you what is free verse. ये रिसेंट है. रिसेंट का मतलब है ये पहले से जो पोइट्री लिखी जा रही थी, दैट वाज ब्लैंक वर्स, हिरोइक कपलेट्स वगैरह, उसमें वो रिदम वगैरह, राइम पूरा उसमें मीटर का ख्याल रखना पड़ता था. हियर इन दिस टाइप ऑफ पोएम्स, इन दिस टाइप ऑफ पोइट्री, फ्री वर्स, द पोएट will not use regular rhythm, meter, and then rhyme. He will not have rhyme there. आपको लगेगा बीच में कि I am just reading, we are reading prose, but it's not prose. Why? Because some sort of rhythm is there. So in free verse there is no rhyme, no meter, regular meter, but some rhythm, some kind of rhythm is there. So this poem comes under this category because Walt Whitman is called the father of free verse. You have already read one of his poems in your matric class, Miracles. Okay, that has also been written in free verse. The same poet is Walt Whitman. वही poet है जिसको आपने पढ़ा है मैट्रिक में. तो थोड़ा सा वॉल्ट विटमैन के बारे में जानने की कोशिश करेंगे. He was born in 1819 and he died in 1892. पूरा नाम इसका था वॉल्टर विटमैन. अब इसको शॉर्ट में बोलते हैं वॉल्ट विटमैन. He was born on 31st May 1819 and he died on 26 March 1892. So he was an American poet, essayist, journalist and humanist, one who believes in humanity. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon. यानी जो वहाँ पर की उनकी पोइट्री जो है ना, उनका जो अपना वो वहाँ पर वो रूल है, वहाँ पर जो methodology, often called the father of free verse. Okay, I told you that he is called the father of free verse. You have read one of his poems in your matric class. His work was very controversial. यानी उसमें वो लोगों में एक तज़ाद सा पैदा हो गया. In its time, particularly his poetry collection, Leaves of Grass. यानी इसने एक पोइट्री कलेक्शन, एक बुक लिखी है बड़ी फेमस, उसका नाम है Leaves of Grass. Whitman worked as a journalist, teacher, government clerk and volunteer nurse during the American Civil War. Civil War, you can understand, a war which is fought within a country, in addition to publishing his poetry. Early in his career, when he was young, he also produced a temperance novel, Franklin Evans, which was written in 1842. Whitman's major work, as I told you, Leaves of Grass. Okay, this is his major work, means magnum opus. Leaves of Grass एक collection of poems है उसकी, Whitman की, was first published in 1855. Okay, with his own money. The work means Leaves of Grass. It refers to Leaves of Grass book. The work was an attempt at reaching out to the common person with an American epic. Epic, it's a long poem. He continued expanding and revising it until his death in 1892. यानी तब तक इसको रिवाइज किया और ऐड किया, सब्ट्रैक्ट किया, ऐड किया. After a stroke towards the end of his life, he moved to Camden, New Jersey, where his health further declined. He died at the age of 72. So he was 72 years old when he died, and his funeral became a public spectacle. यानी एक शो, वहाँ पर बहुत सारे लोग आ गए उसके मतलब उस जनाजे में, बड़ा वो इज अमेरिकन नेशनल पोएट, यू नो, बड़ा जबरदस्त पोएट है ये अमेरिका का, वॉल्ट विटमैन. Now this was something, you know, about the poet. Now let's go to something about, you know, introduction to the poem. As I told you that this voice of the rain जो poem है, अच्छी poem है ये by Walt Whitman. इसमें इसने रैन को पर्सोनिफाई किया है, यानी पर्सोनिफाई, as I told you already, I will tell you again, maybe some of you have, you know, joined only this today. So personify means, personification से निकला है ये. Personify means when the poet gives human qualities to some non-human being that can be living but that is a human being, यानी उसे बात कराएगा. जैसे अक्सर आप स्टोरीज में देखा होगा कि वो कैरेक्टर जो लाइन है, रेट है, फॉक्स है, वो बातें करते हैं. दैट इज पर्सोनिफिकेशन. इस तरह पोएट जो है वो कभी ट्री को, कभी किसी बर्ड को, किसी इनएनिमेट ऑब्जेक्ट को ह्यूमन क्वालिटीज दे देगा. जैसे यहाँ पर रैन जो आप देख रहे हैं, रैन तो बात नहीं करेगी, लेकिन इसमें ये बोल रहा है द वॉइस ऑफ द रैन, और ये वॉइस ने इसके साथ बात की. सो जो ये पोएम है द वॉइस ऑफ द रैन वॉल्ट विटमैन की, इज अबाउट द पोएट्स इमेजिनरी कन्वर्सेशन. ये पोएट का होता है, जैसे में मैंने बोला आपको कि लिरिक भी है. सो लिरिक में एक ये भी है एक चीज की, इसमें लॉट ऑफ इमेजिनेशन एट वर्क व्हेन यू कम टू लिरिक. सो दिस लिरिक. तो ये जो क्या नाम है इसका, पोएट जो है, ही टॉक्स अबाउट हिज इमेजिनरी कन्वर्सेशन विद रेन ड्रॉपलेट्स. बारिश बरस रही थी तो उसने उसके साथ बात की. इन द एंड ही सेज दैट हिज पोइट्री इज लाइक द रेन ड्रॉपलेट्स. ये कंपेयर करता है फिर अपनी पोइट्री को. एंड एज बोथ ऑफ देम प्ले ए क्रूशियल रोल इन द वर्ल्ड. जस्ट लाइक रेन, यू नो, is necessary for life, is necessary for all plants, you know, animals, everything. These जो हम प्लांट्स लगाते हैं जमीन में, उसमें रेन जरूरी है. तो इसी तरह जो ये बोल रहा है कि मेरी पोइट्री जो है वो भी ऐसा ही काम करती है, लोगों को खुश करके वापस आ जाती है मेरे पास ये लेके, पैगाम लेके. द पोएम इज एन ओपन वर्स, एज आई टोल्ड यू, दिस 3 verse without any rhyme scheme. So you will find no rhyme scheme there, and you will not find any regular meter pattern there, but some sort of rhythm is there, because otherwise there will not be poetry. Rhythm is, you know, crucial to poetry. It lacks a specific form, meter, and consists of single stanza having 9 lines. So we'll go to poem. I'll just, you know, read the poem aloud for you. It's up to you. You can keep your books closed, or you can keep your books open, but you should focus more on listening. Okay? Okay, listen. The voice of the rain, Walt Whitman. And who art thou, said I to the soft falling shower, which strange to tell gave me an answer, as he had translated. And the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. I descend to live the droughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin, and make pure and beautify it. For song, issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Okay? Here what my aim is or was is that you listen to the poem. Okay? Now, if you want, I will read it again. This time you can keep the books open. And who art thou, said I to the soft falling shower, which strange to tell gave me an answer, as here translated. I am the poem of earth, and the voice of the rain, said the voice of the rain. Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, yet the same. I descend to leave the droughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn, and forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin, and make pure and beautify it. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Okay? Now, before we go further for explanation and for for poetic devices in this poem, let me give you the meanings of some words for you. I told you the other day also that it's not necessary to know the meaning of each and every word in the poem. You should get a feel of it. In prose you can go for more more and more word meanings, but here in poetry you should focus on more on getting pleasure out of the poem and getting a feeling, because it appeals to your feelings and emotions. If you are emotionally involved, if your feelings are involved, that means the poet's work is done. Now there is a word in the first line, art, A-R-T. This is an old phrase, we can say archaic also. In the olden English, this used to be used. The meaning of this word is you, or, and art you means are you. If you say thou art, means you are. Now he has asked a question, and who art you? That is, and who are you? मैंने इसने रेन को पूछा, who are you? So thou means you, art means are. And then there is another word, phrase also, soft falling, means dropping softly. मुझे बारिश बरसती है, पिछले दिनों बरस रही थी, बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा था, we enjoy. Then shower, raindrops when they fall continuously on earth. Okay, and then you have another word is there, eternal. So eternal means everlasting, never ending. And then you have impalpable, opposite of palpable. So impalpable means which unable to be felt by touching, which you cannot touch, or which cannot be described. Bottomless, very deep. It's a way of saying. अभी उसमें बात करेंगे बाद में. Upward, towards a higher level. Whence, from where. Vaguely, unclearly, when you are, it's a dim manner. Formed, made into a specific shape or form. Then there is another word, descend, move or fall downwards. है ना, बारिश ऊपर से नीचे बरसती है. Lave, इसको पढ़ना है lave, L-A-V-E, pronunciation is lave, L-A and V. Wash, bathe, and then we have droughts, dry spells, when there are no rains, droughts. Atomies, very tiny particles, small. Globe, earth, and then we have latent, dormant, inactive, hidden, buried, and then we have another word, origin, means source. Beautify, verb, make beautiful. This we say beauty, that's noun. We say beautiful, that's adjective. Issuing, originating, starting. Fulfillment, completing the cycle, water cycle. First of all, it is water, then it turns into vapor, and then condenses again, and then comes back in the form of rain. Wandering, moving from one place to another. Wrecked, cared about. Unwrecked, opposite of wrecked, uncared for, not cared. Duly, properly, rightly. Okay, so this if there is any other word, you can see it yourself also. You read it once silently, and then you can check the words if you don't know the meaning of any word. And then let's go to the explanation part. I will try to tell you something how it goes. When he says, "And who art thou?" said I to the soft falling shower, which strange to tell gave me an answer, as here translate id. "I am the poem of earth," said the voice of the rain. So in these lines, the poet has personified the rain, and he has also personified earth. When the rain says, "I am the poem of earth," so she has made earth like a mother, like a child. I say, I am a child of earth. So the poem begins with the poet asking for the identity of the soft falling rain shower. यानी इसको बोलता है तुम कौन हो. Much to the surprise of the poet, the rain replies to his question, which the poet translates for his readers. The rain in its own voice, that's personification. Otherwise rain तो बात नहीं करेगी. Tells the poet that she is the poem of this earth. The rain is trying to say that as music or poetry gives pleasure to human beings, the rain gives happiness to Mother Earth. यानी अगर rain नहीं होगी तो it's impossible to so that something will grow on the earth. Especially जो ये plants है, ये इनके लिए must है rain, हर एक चीज के लिए. फिर आगे बोल रहा है, "Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven whence vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same." Here the poet says that the rain is an eternal process. It's not that suppose today it will rain, it will never rain now. In the different parts of the world, rain is falling throughout the year. So this rain is it is an eternal process, but it takes different forms at different times. That's why we say this water hai, it's in the form of gas, in the form of liquid, in the form of solid also. So solid is when it turns into ice or snow, and liquid जैसे water होता है, and gas when it turns to vapor, जब इसको वो बादल बनते हैं समंदरों से या दरियाओं से, जब ये पानी जो है ना evaporate हो जाता है. It rises from the land and the deep sea in the form of intangible which you cannot touch, which you cannot see, water vapor, and goes up to the sky. There it takes an indistinct shape. Some of you are from medical background, you know it fully, because जो water cycle आप पढ़ रहे हो तो आपको तो पता है. In the form of clouds. Although it changes in its form or shape, in its form or shape, but it remains the same. That is basic. वो तो water होता है. Since vapor and clouds contain water, they can get transformed into the other. The word is impalpable and eternal indicate that nature is not fully understood, and some part of it always remains beyond our reach. यानी कुछ चीजें जो हमें समझ में नहीं आ रही है. That's what where I told you that in lyric you have also description of nature. And then I descend to leave the droughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. So the raindrops pour down from above to wash away droughts and dust layers enveloping earth. It satisfied the thirst of the dry earth and heals everything that is degrading and is lying lifeless. The showers remove the dust particles and make earth clean and green. You see, आपने देखा होगा कि जब बारिश होती है उसके बाद जब बारिश थम जाती है उसके बाद देखिए एटमॉस्फेयर देखिए कितना ब्यूटीफुल लग रहा है. You must have observed. The rain also helps to helps in the germination of seeds. मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कुछ मर्तबा चाहिए कि दाना खाक में मिलकर गुलो गुलजार होता है। हमें लग रहा है ये दाना जो है ना मिट्टी में मिल गया, ये खत्म हो गया, लेकिन उसके बाद जब बारिश बरसती है उसको वो दाना फिर बाहर स्प्राउट करने लगता है, जर्मिनेट हो जाता है, सीड। हमें लग रहा है ये शायद गया वो अर्थ में, अब ये नहीं निकलेगा, बट इट कम्स आउट, विच वर lying dormant or we can say dead due to a dry spell. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. और फिर ये लास्ट लाइन जो है ब्रैकेट में लिखी है, दिस इज फ्रॉम द पोएट। वो रेन बोल रही है, ये पोएट बोल रहा है। फॉर सॉन्ग इश्यूइंग फ्रॉम इट्स बर्थ प्लेस आफ्टर फुलफिलमेंट, वॉन्डरिंग रेक्ट और अनरेक्ट, duly with love returns. So the rain is involved in a continued process of giving life on earth by providing water to dormant seeds and making the earth more beautiful and full of greenery. Okay, rain is also called, it's deemed to be the purest form of water. Rain helps in enhancing the beauty of earth, as in the absence of water everything turns dull or lifeless and dust accumulates everywhere. The last two lines are the poet's own words. Here the poet is speaking, and his reflections, thinking जो है upon the answers given by the rain. The poet observes that the life of rain is similar to that of a song. A song or poem is creativity at its best. क्योंकि actually what's literature? Literature is something which has been made, which has been created. इसमें पोइट्री आती है, इसमें ड्रामा आता है, इसमें जो है ये शॉर्ट स्टोरीज आती है, नॉवेल्स आती है, ये आप पढ़ेंगे आगे जाके। तो इट हैज द पावर टू calm, heal, regenerate, transform and thrill. In the same way, repeated evaporation and condensation purifies the rain. The entire environment gets drenched in the rain. Dust particles settle down and there is greenery everywhere, which makes the whole earth beautiful to look at. The poet therefore draws a parallel between rain and music, as both have rhythm and ability to thrill. Both of them regenerate and beautify life. A poetry makes us happy, and we feel good, we feel pleasure. Same is the case with the rain. Now this was some, you can also have your own explanation, because nowadays we are telling you that you read the poem and try to get the meanings out of your own meanings also. If you want to get your own meaning, that's also possible. ऐसा कुछ problem नहीं है। तो ये इसमें main idea था। And then let us go to its central idea. What is the central idea? You must have got now the central idea of the poem कि rain कितनी important है, rain का क्या role है हमारे life में, ठीक है? वही है। So the poem, The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman, signifies, it shows the eternal role, eternal, everlasting, forever. ये नहीं है आज तो बस कल नहीं, next year नहीं, पिछले साल भी था, नेक्स्ट ईयर भी होगा, इस साल भी है। इटरनल रोल दैट द रेन प्लेज इन नर्चरिंग, यानी ब्रिंगिंग अप, क्वेंचिंग वी क्वेंच आवर थर्स्ट, प्यास बुझाना, प्लांट्स की, एनिमल्स की, बर्ड्स की, एंड प्यूरिफाइंग, यानी एक तो ये नर्चर कर रहा है, दूसरा ये क्वेंच भी कर रहा है, तीसरा ये प्यूरिफाई कर रहा है, ब्यूटिफाई बना रहा है द वेरियस एलिमेंट्स ऑफ अर्थ. So it's very important. The rain returns, the favor to its place of origin. ये water cycle पहले ये होता है in the form of water, in seas, in rivers, in ponds. फिर ये चला जाता है वेपर में ऊपर और फिर कंडेंस होके ऊपर वापस आ जाता है. So water cycle फिर ऐसे घूम के from where it rises unseen from the depths of the water and from the land. The rain itself is explaining to the reader about its origin, work, and its cyclic moment. What you call as, you medical students call, water cycle. A comparison has also been drawn between rain and music, as both of them make the world more lively and return to their place of origin after fulfilling their purpose. Okay, so this was the central idea. Now let us go to, we'll go to the poetic devices. For that I will rub this, I'll write on the board for you. So meanwhile you can read the poem silently as I rub the this board, or and I am going to write something on the board. Meanwhile you can read it, the poem. So in this poem, the poetic devices we have are in this poem. Otherwise there are many poetic devices, but we will try to find poetic devices in this poem. Number one, we have here, as I told you, we have personification. Okay, personification. So those of you who want to write the definition, please write. When the poet gives human qualities, human characteristics to some non-human being, it can be inanimate, it can be living, but it is not a human being, that's called personification. In मैट्रिक क्लास आपने वो पढ़ा ना, स्नोड्रॉप, उसमें वो बोल रहा है she too pursues her ends, है ना, she, her pale head heavy as metal, her क्या है, स्नोड्रॉप का है, तो ये उसके लिए हर यूज कर रहा है, she यूज कर रहा है, तो दैट इज वो उसको पर्सोनिफाई कर रहा है. तो यहां पर जो है मैंने आपको बोला कि एक तो रैन को पर्सोनिफाई किया गया है, सो द रैन हैज बीन पर्सोनिफाइड बिकॉज द रैन टॉक्स, और इसके अलावा अर्थ को भी, द अर्थ को भी पर्सोनिफाई किया गया है बिकॉज, और अर्थ का यहां पर इसने लिखा ई कैपिटल और आर्टिकल भी लगाया है, दैट मीन्स इट हैज बीन पर्सोनिफाइड. अदरवाइज व्हाई शुड वी राइट कैपिटल हियर इन बिटवीन अर्थ? इसका भी एक मकसद होता है पोएट का, ही इज पर्सोनिफाइंग अर्थ, यानी गिविंग इट ना ह्यूमन क्वालिटीज. जैसे अर्थ को बना रहा है एज मदर, अर्थ ये बोलता है मैं अर्थ की हूं, अर्थ से निकल रहा है कोई चीज, हमें लग रहा है अर्थ जो है शायद ये, पिछले दिनों भी हमने बोला था कि ये लग रहा है अर्थ उस प्लेनेट में, हमने जो पढ़ा था वो एलिंग प्लेनेट में, कि अर्थ जो है ये ऑर्गेनिक है, ये लिविंग है, इसमें से बाहर आ रहे हैं ये प्लांट्स बाकी चीज, फिर बिकॉज इट्स लिविंग. तो दूसरा इसमें आया है मेटाफर. ओके, मेटाफर. So metaphor is, when the poet compares two dissimilar things having something in common, but here like simile, he will not use the words, as, like, as if. वो सीधे यूज करेगा वर्ड्स. उसको अगर बोलना होगा, जैसे वो बहादुर है, वो बोलेगा he is a lion. अगर वो बोलेगा he is as brave as a lion, then that's a simile. This is the difference. वरना ये कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करता है कि सिमिली क्या है, मेटाफर क्या है. सिंपल आप समझे कि मेटाफर में वो विदाउट एज, विदाउट लाइक, एज इफ वगैरह वो यूज नहीं करता है और कंपेयर करता है थिंग्स को विच हैव समथिंग इन कॉमन, बट दे आर डिसिमिलर थिंग्स. जब ये बोलता है आई एम द पोएम ऑफ द अर्थ, दिस इज मेटाफोरिक. वैसे भी पोएट्री की लैंग्वेज अक्सर मेटाफोरिक होती है, क्योंकि पोएट जो है उसी बात नहीं करता, ही यूजेस सिमिलीज, मेटाफर्स, इमेजेस, सिंबल्स. The poet uses a metaphor to compare how the rain leaves the ground to come back to the ground, giving back to it as much like a person who leaves its home only to come back after fulfilling his journey. और दूसरा जब आपने यहाँ पर देखा आपने, एक तो ये poem of the earth से बोला है, the poem of the earth, poem of the earth, personification भी है और ये भी है, इसमें metaphor भी है. एंड जब ये बोल रहा है ग्लोब, ये देखिए आप, ग्लोब. सो ग्लोब हम रेफर करते हैं वर्ल्ड को, लेकिन ग्लोब तो मत है वर्ल्ड, दैट्स अ मॉडल कि वर्ल्ड ऐसा है, जमीन जो है, अर्थ जो है ये ऐसी है, दैट्स अ मॉडल. तो जब ये ग्लोब बोलेगा, अर्थ नहीं बोलेगा, तो इसका मतलब है कि ही इज यूजिंग अ मेटाफर हियर. इंस्टेड ऑफ सेइंग ग्लोब, दिस अर्थ और वर्ल्ड, ही इज सेइंग द वर्ड ग्लोब. एंड देन देयर इज, in this poem there is parallelism. There is parallelism. Parallelism. So parallelism, is when the poet compares, this contrasts actually two things. एक contrast ऐसा होगा, compare करेगा. In the last two lines, the poet has drawn a parallel between the rain and the song of a poet. तो ये इसमें आया है पैरेललिज्म कि एक तरफ से रैन जो है दैट मेक्स पीपल हैप्पी, और दूसरी तरफ से पोइट फिर बोल रहा है कि द पोइट्री और poems also make people happy, and after appreciation by people it comes back to the poet को पता चलता है कि मेरी पोइट जो है ये अप्रिशिएट की गई है, तो उसके बाद वापस आ जाती है उसके पास. Then there is another poetic device, hyperbole. Okay, hyperbole. Hyperbole, it is exaggeration, but actually hyperbole means when the poet gives too much importance to something low or he gives less importance to something high. अपोजिट भी इसमें आएगा. यानी अगर कोई चीज को वो कम इंपॉर्टेंस दे देगा वो भी हाइपरबोली है, और यूजुअली इसको लिखते हैं एग्जैजरेशन. लेकिन एग्जैजरेशन में तो एक ही साइड आएगा, वो मतलब सिर्फ बड़ा चढ़ा के पेश करना. तो इसमें अगर किसी चीज को वो कम भी लो भी पेश करेगा, दैट इज आल्सो हाइपरबोली. ये एक अंदाज होता है बोलने का. जैसे यहाँ पर बॉटमलेस सी, उसका तो कोई ना कोई बॉटम होगा जरूर. यानी अगर कोई पिट ले लेंगे हम, कोई कितना भी गहरा कोई कुआं क्यों ना हो, आखिर तो उसका कोई ना कोई बॉटम होगा ना. तो जब ये बोल रहा है बॉटमलेस सी, so by bottomless sea he means very deep, but instead of saying very deep he says bottomless sea. So it's a hyperbolic statement, bottomless sea, bottomless sea, which is an exaggerated statement to bring out the direct and desired effect. यानी यहाँ पर वो एक इफेक्ट लाना चाहता है डायरेक्टली, तो वो उसमें कामयाब हो गया है वो. And then imagery is crucial to poetry, and this poetry is also full of imagery. आपने देखा होगा कि मतलब imagery क्या है. Imagery is involvement of senses. Feelings and emotions are involved. I would like to read something for you. Imagery is a literary device that refers to the use of figurative language to evoke a sensory experience or create a picture with words for a reader. By utilizing effective, descriptive language and figures of speech, metaphor, simile, वगैरह बाकी चीजें जो है hyperbole, they actually create imagery. Writers appeal to the reader's sense of sight, taste, smell, touch, sound, as well as internal emotions and feelings. Therefore, imagery is not limited to visual representations or mental images only, but also includes physical sensations and internal emotions. So, in the first line of the poem, soft falling shower, जब poet बोल रहा है, gives the reader an image of gentle rain or drizzle. अभी देखिए रिसेंटली बारिश हो रही थी, इंशाल्लाह एक दिन में और होगी, तो फिर आप फील कर लीजिए ये, और या इस वक्त फील कर लीजिए, और आपको लगेगा कि पोएट आपको वहां ले जा रहा है उस रेन में, उस drizzle में. During the dialogue between the poet and the rain, it creates an image of showers or drops of water falling down from the heavens, the sky, to earth and infusing it with greenery, purity and beauty. इसके अलावा भी देख लीजिए आप, जब ये बोल रहा है give me an answer, तो साउंड है. जब बोल रहा है पोइम का नाम लिखा है द वॉइस ऑफ द रेन, तो इट ऑल्सो रेफर टू साउंड. वॉइस है, साउंड ही है, क्योंकि बात उसमें भी है. और फिर आगे जाके जब आप देखते हैं ड्राउट से लिखता है वर्ड, ग्लोब लिखता है वर्ड, बॉटमलेस सी लिखता है वर्ड, लैंड लिखता है, अर्थ लिखा है, बहुत सारे वर्ड्स. These are all bring to your mind, imagery, beautify. ये भी एक इमेजरी है, क्योंकि आपका एक आइडिया है उसका. सॉन्ग है, सॉन्ग में मतलब साउंड भी है, तो साउंड इमेजरी है. ये कैन बी डे है, नाइट है. देयर सो मेनी वर्ड्स. हेवन है, लैंड आई टोल्ड यू, पोइम है. सो these there are so many words which bring to your mind the picture created by words. You form a picture in your mind when you read this poem. So that is you come to know that there is imagery, especially sound and visual imagery in this poem. और दूसरा देख रहा हूं कि इसमें enjambment भी आया है. enjambment, ENJAMBMENT या JAMBEMENT, both are correct. enjambment एनजेएमएन का मतलब है द कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ ए सिंटैक्टिक सेंटेंस में जो स्ट्रक्चर होता है, यूनिट फ्रॉम वन लाइन ऑफ वर्स इन द नेक्स्ट लाइन विदाउट ए पॉज, यानी वहां पर कोई पंक्चुएशन मार्क नहीं होगा, सीधा, चूंकि फ्री वर्स भी है तो इसमें ऐसा करेगा, तो वो उस लाइन से आइडिया आ रहा है दूसरी लाइन में। जैसे आप फर्स्ट लाइन को छोड़ो, सेकंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ लाइन को देखो आप, ऑफ द लैंड एंड द बॉटमलेस सी, यानी ये द बॉटमलेस सी के साथ चला गया है। देन नेक्स्ट इज ऑल टुगेदर चेंज्ड, फिर आगे लिखा है 10 लेयर्स ऑफ द ग्लोब, फिर आगे लिखा है माई ओन ओरिजिन, फिर आगे लिखा है वॉन्डरिंग रेक्ट और अनरेक्ट। तो यहां पर क्या हो रहा है कि इसको एक और नाम है रन ऑन लाइन। तो ये रन ऑन लाइन हो रहा है, यानी एक लाइन से आइडिया जा रहा है दूसरी लाइन में। इस एग्जांपल ऑफ एनजेमेंट। तो ये आई होप कि यू हैव गॉट इट, कि इसमें जो ये हमने देखा, ये कुछ आई थी इसमें। दूसरा मैं देख रहा हूं कि अभी मैं सोच रहा था कि इसमें एक और पोएटिक डिवाइस आई है जो प्रोज में भी होती है, आयरनी। अब देखिए, ये शायद आपने पहली बार यहां पर, क्योंकि जो एक दो क्लास मैंने इससे पहले दिए थे उसमें मैंने आयरनी का शायद नहीं बोला था। आयरनी यू नो इज अपीयरेंसेस वर्सेस रियलिटी। जो है वो नहीं है, हम बोलते हैं ना ऑल दैट ग्लिटर इज नॉट गोल्ड, वैसे कुछ। अपीयरेंसेस वर्सेस रियलिटी, व्हाट इज नॉट, व्हाट द पॉइंट वांट्स टू से इज अपोजिट ऑफ दैट, appearances versus reality. Suppose you have read that poem in 9th class on killing a tree. Do you think that the poet wants us to kill the tree, or he wants to save tree after when he says killing a tree? Actually he wants us that we must save trees. So here when the poet says that, जब ये बोल रहा है I descend to lave the droughts, atomies and dust of the globe and all that, नहीं उसे बोले बोले upward to heaven, Venus vaguely formed, all together changed and yet the same. यानी जब रेन चेंज हो जाते हैं ना इन द फॉर्म ऑफ, जब वाटर होता है, ये गैसेस फॉर्म में चला जाता है वेपर में, तब भी ये वाटर होता है। तो हमें लग रहा है ये वाटर शायद अब नहीं है, ये खत्म हो गया, और हमें लगा भी नहीं आ रहा है। नाउ प्लीज you give answer, these are not actually, this is not an exam, but I am going to see whether you have understood this poem or not. You go to this poem and read from this start, and who art thou, up to voice of the rain. Okay, voice of the rain. Who is I in this first line? Good, the poet. Nice. What does the rain call itself? The poem of the earth. Why? Yes, good. Like a poem or song, it travels back to its source. Okay. What does the poet say as here translated? Because the poet had to comprehend the pattering sound of the rain and translate it for the readers into words. क्योंकि अगर हमें वो बोलेगा आप सुनो, जैसे ये बोल रही है, हमें लग रहा है नहीं, हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा ये क्या बोल रही है, तो पोएट ने समझा, पोएट का जो ये सोल होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं कंप्रहेंसिव सोल। ये वर्ड्स वर्ड बोल रहा है कि ये भी एक इंसान होता है, लेकिन इसका सोल बड़ा कंप्रहेंसिव होता है, ये सेंसिटिव होता है जबरदस्त, वो ही कैन अंडरस्टैंड। फिर आगे लिखा है इटर्नल आई राइज टू, पढ़िए आप यहां तक ये, एंड येट द सेम, जो मैं भी आपको बोल रहा था कि वेगली फॉर्म्ड, ऑल टुगेदर चेंज्ड एंड येट द सेम। What does the use of word eternal indicate here? Okay, it indicates continual process, eternal process, for lasting forever, happening again and again. When the rain goes, evaporation, and then comes back as in the form of rain. So condensation, falling to the earth, evaporation, condensation, and falling back to the water cycle. From where does I rise? And where does it go? So the rain rises in the form of vapor out of the land and the vast sea, जो भी water body होती है, and goes to the sky. What do you mean by this? Yet the same. As I was just telling you, it's irony. So it means the rain says that it rises to the sky in the form of vapor, There the vapor forms clouds of different sizes, hence the rain takes many forms, but ultimately they are all form of water of rain and thus all are the same. अब यहां से पढ़िए, I descend to leave the drought atomies से लेकर unborn तक, और इसका जवाब दे दीजिए, with what purpose does the rain descend from the sky? Okay, the rain descends on earth to wash and give life to the drought affected areas and plants. What will happen if I was not there? This is rain. If the rain was not there, I refers rain, the seeds will remain as seeds and plants will not grow. Okay? Okay. What are latent and unborn and why? You know, the seeds on the land are lying latent or dormant in their buried or hidden due to non availability of water or rain. यानी अगर कोई किसी जगह, इसलिए हम बोलते हैं जो डेजर्ट होता है ना, वहाँ पर ड्राउट्स होते हैं, वहाँ पर बारिश बहुत बिल्कुल होती नहीं है, कम होती है या होती नहीं है, और वहाँ पर प्लांट्स भी नहीं होते क्योंकि वाटर नहीं है वहाँ पर. Now and forever by day and night I give back से लेकर पढ़िए लास्ट तक, यहाँ पर जहाँ लिखा है beautify it. In what way does the rain help its place of origin? You know, it comes back in the form of rain, earth, by providing water to the drought-stricken areas and washing away, impurities from it. It purifies. How does the rain help the earth in making it pure and beautiful? The rain helps the earth by washing away all the dirt, germinate the new seeds which are lying latent and reviving the plants. है ना? बड़ा beautiful लग रहा है after rain stops. और फिर यहाँ से पढ़िए, हाँ एक और क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ वर्ड फॉर एवर? सो अगेन वही फॉर एवर जो अभी हमने पढ़ा था, इटरनल, तो लाइक दैट एवरलास्टिंग, फीचर ऑफ नेचुरल एलिमेंट्स विच आर क्रूशियल फॉर ह्यूमन सर्वाइवल. बारिश होनी चाहिए बार बार. फॉर लॉस्ट के 2 लाइन जो पॉइंट बोल रहा है, जो विद इन ब्रैकेट्स में रखे गए हैं, ये पढ़िए. व्हाट इज द सिमिलरिटी बिटवीन अ सॉन्ग एंड द रेन? सो बोथ आर returned to the original place. How has the poet been able to put his own reflections? The poet departs from conversing with the rain, यानी उसके साथ बात करने के बाद हमसे बात कर रहा है, and puts his own observations in parentheses, in called round brackets or brackets. For what purpose has the phrase record or unrecord been used by the poet? So the poet has used this phrase to indicate that rain or song, keep completing their life cycle irrespective of being noticed or appreciated. वो अपना, अगर हम इसको appreciate भी नहीं करेंगे रेन को, तब भी वो बरसेगी और हमें फायदा ही पहुंचाएगी, क्योंकि मैंने पहले ही बताया आपको कि इट इज एक रहमत बरसा रहा है अल्लाह, मतलब हम पर रेन की फॉर्म में. तो मुझे लगा कि चलो, थैंक यू वेरी मच, दिस विल बी एनफ फॉर टुडे. यू कैन रीड द पोएम ऑन योर ओन आल्सो एंड गेट मोर मीनिंग्स. तो इफ यू वांट टू क्लैरिफाई समथिंग, जो मैंने पहले भी आपको दिया है अपना ईमेल आईडी, सो MOHD स्मॉल सारा PANDITH @gmail.com. तो लिख सकते हैं आप, पूछ सकते हैं आप. तो अगर फोन भी करेंगे तो 700-6859-755. You can talk. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourselves. Hope you will be all right, inshallah. Thank you very much.